Good morning, everybody. In today's class, we shall be looking for the play Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 1. In the last classes, we have completed Act 1, Scene 1, in which we have introduced number of characters like Antonio, Lorenzo, Selenio, Graciano, and Bassanio. So, all the things that we have read in Act 1, now we are going to move to the next scene, that is scene number 2, in which we are going to introduce the heroine of the play, Portia. Okay, we find here that the dramatist William Shakespeare has first time introduced our heroine Portia here, as we have talked much more on Portia in the last of the scene. But according to William Shakespeare, he has introduced Portia here. So what happened in this scene we will be talking on. See that this scene opens in Belmont where Portia, the rich and beautiful heiress, resides. Okay, she shares with her maid Nerissa her doubts concerning her future. Due to strange provisions of her father's will, according to the will, she is to be won by the suitor who choose correctly from among the three caskets made of gold, silver, and lead. Portia ridicules the suitors who have come earlier to try their luck. Showing her disapproval when Nerissa reminds her of Bassanio, she remembers him as tender thought of him. The scene is in prose and deals with the indirect explanation of characterization. Okay, so if we have a brief summary of this scene, so I have given here you the brief summary of that. Here in the scene, we find that we introduce the writer introduce our heroine Portia. Portia, who lives in Belmont. This scene is going to have the bedroom of Portia, in which there's a conversation between Portia as well as her maid, or you can see her friend Nerissa. So here Portia is somewhere upset. Okay, and she just try to share all the things to her maid Nerissa, and okay, he she has a doubt for her future that according to her father's will, what her father's will, I told you that there are three caskets. The last class I explained you, that is made up of gold, silver, and lead. So according to his father's will, a person who is going to choose rightly the right casket, who will be the husband of Portia. But here the problem is that Portia does not love these types of princess, and okay, she somewhere thought we have consulted that Portia loves Bassanio and he loves Portia. So that is why she somewhere not ready and puzzles of this will given by her father. And in scene we find that there is a ridiculous conversation. Okay, what thought Portia have regarding all the suitors who have come and they have tried their luck. So what she thought we find here in this scene, and also in last we find that Nerissa reminds her of Bassanio, and according to Portia, that Bassanio is the rightful person who can be her future husband. So here one main thing is left, that this scene is going to have in a prose style. In the last scene that we had, that is written in poetic form, but here what scene we have is written in a prose form. So without waste of time, let us have the text. I request to all the students, those who have not opened their book, please come to your book page number 30. Your book page number 30, Act 1, Scene 1. We will follow the text. Okay. So here you can see that in scene 2, Belmont, a room in Portia's house, enter Portia and Nerissa. Okay, this is the scene that is in Portia's house. So here there is an entry of Portia and Nerissa. Okay, what Portia says, see, by my truth, Nerissa, my little body is a weary of great will. Okay, here we find that Nerissa, okay, what is truth? Truth means you can say as faith. Okay, Faidh. So he says that Nerissa, by God, but I'm somewhere weary. My faith, my what we can say, that the life somewhere puzzled of this condition of this world, what is going on with me. So if you're going to have a comparison between the character of Antonio and Portia, see that Antonio, in the very beginning of the speech of Antonio, you find that he is also upset, and here we find that Portia is also not happy with the condition she has. Okay, why she is not happy, we will go down and then read, but she is not happy. The world, the things that is going around her is not made her happy. So that is why she's sharing her state of mind to her maid, Portia. Okay, to her maid Nerissa. So she said that I'm completely tired of my fate and the things, the world that is going around me. Okay, what Nerissa says. See. Nerissa, you would be sweet, madam, if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortune are. She's very cunning. She's saying that yes, it would be sweet, madam, when if your miseries were in the same abundance as your good fortune. Okay, you are a good fortunate lady. So I believe I will agree of your statement when I will find that your miseries are also as same as your fortune. Okay, you are a fortunate lady. You are thinking that your misery is also as same as your abundance. Abundance means the proper thing, the plentiful means wealth and pleasures you have. So you are thinking the miseries of yours is like that. So it is not. So I am not to agree with you, because it is less than your fortune. Clear? And she added that, and it I ought means anything, and yet I see that they are as sick that surfeit with too much as they have starved with nothing. So here Portia is saying that, madam, I have found people, a people who is very rich, okay, and the people who is very poor. So the rich people and the people who is poor, they both have, see the word is written, surfeit. What is surfeit means? Excess of wealth and excess of poverty. So the people who is having who is having wealth in excess form, or poverty in excess form, they both are somewhere worried. So they both are somewhere upset. Why? Because they have too much wealth and too much poverty, so that they starve for nothing. Starve for nothing means they just die for hunger. So die for hunger means is talking about, is giving reference to that types of people who is very poor. So poverty and the wealth, the great wealth, is mean the both the things the people have, they were somewhere not happy with their fate, as you are. Therefore, to be seated in the mean, superfluity comes sooner by white hairs, but competency lives longer. Okay, now she's talking about the person. They are in the middle. Okay, the medium of these two. Medium of means the person who is living in the medium. See, this is the rich people. I will explain you here. See that this is the rich people and this is the poor people. The rich people have too much wealth and the poor people have too much poverty. So they both are somewhere upset, as you are. So she is talking about the person who is having the middle life, means they have the superfluity comes. Now superfluity comes means, now see that superfluity means given in your book that, okay, the middle class people who have the proper wealth as well as proper poverty, means the sufficient wealth and sufficient poverty, they have neither too much nor too less. So they are that types of people lives longer. Okay, they do not going to have tensionized life, so that their hair becomes white very sooner. So the people who is very rich and the people who is very poor, they have their white hairs. Why? Because they are always tensionized by their fate. And the people who is living the middle life in between these two, they have a proper life and living long life. Clear? Okay. Now, Portia. What Portia says in the response of Nerissa: good sentences and well pronounced. Then Nerissa says they would be better if well followed. She's very cunning. That you're saying your sentences is good, but what you're saying, it is somewhere pronounced well. It is somewhere only pronounced well. Okay, then again Nerissa is very cunning and she's saying that because she's someone not agree with the statement given by Portia. She's saying that she's thinking that how much rich this lady means, see the heiress of Belmont, and then she's saying like that. So Nerissa says that okay, it would be better if somebody will follow this. So like that there is a conversation between these two. Now Portia says what? Okay, if we do as if to do were as easy as to know what would do good to do, chapels had been churches, and the poor man's cottage princess palace. It is good divine that follow his own instruction. It can easier teach 20 that teach 20 that were to be done, that were good to be done, that one of the 20 to follow mine own teaching. See the very good knowledge the lines is given by Portia. It also happen in our daily life. You know that again I am telling to you in the last class. I also told that Shakespeare presented the valuable thing, the criticism of the life through his works. So she's saying that it is very easy to say. Okay, to do were as easy to know that we are good to do. So saying others is a very easy task, but if you have to follow the same what you're going to say is somewhere very difficult. And if it would be so, all the chapels, you know, chapels, that is small worship rooms, that is somewhere we have in our houses as well as in some places. So all the chapels have been churches. If it would be it would be real what you're saying, Narisa, it would be real if so all the chapels that converted into churches, and all the poor men's cottage now converted into the princess palace. So that is not easy that you're saying. Easy saying is easy, but to follow the things is very tough. Okay, then she added that it's a good divine that to follow his own instruction. Okay, teaching, doing good divine means preaching. To preach somebody is somewhere good. Okay, but to follow the instruction what we're giving to somebody is somewhere tough. It can easier teach 20 20 what were good to be done than one of. Okay, she's saying that we can teach 20 people, we can give no knowledge is very easy, you know, that people give knowledge, everybody is ready to give knowledge, but nobody is going to accept the knowledge given by somebody. Okay, suppose I'm saying to you that do this and do that, means do proper thing and thing, and I myself not going to follow the lines what I'm saying to. So teaching 20 people is very easy, but very tough to become that out of one in the one out of 20 people. So that is very tough to be that one out of 20 people, means I just want to say what I work I should follow the first, then after I want to teach somebody. Clear? So again she's adding, the brain may devise laws for the blood, but a hot temper leaves or a cold decrease. Such a air is madness. The youth to skip over the measures of good counsel of the cripple. But this reason is not the fashion to choose a husband. She's saying that, you know, Portia, our mind, our brain makes laws, you know, but what about our heart? Our heart is not going to accept this. Our brain somewhere giving the reasonable thing to us, but our heart is not going to accept our brain, our laws. Why? Because in a young age, in a hot temper, in a young age, in this is the fashion in a young age, that we're not going to accept the reality of the world. Okay, we are going to follow the same thing. What we want to do, you know, in this young age, the people is like a hare. Okay, as hare in his madness, in his youth age, it can skip here and there in his happiness. So in the same way, our youth, our heart is not going to accept our rules, our laws that is made by our brain. And also she's added that this reasonable is not the fashion to choosing with the husband. Okay, if you're going to me this reason, this preaching, so see the word choose me a husband. So according to your teaching, I cannot choose my husband. What the brain made, what the reality you're talking about, according to that reality, my heart is not going to accept that. If my heart will be going to accept your reality, so I will be free to choose my husband. Okay, then again she's added, for me, the word choose, she hold here and then stop for a while. The word choose, she's somewhere upset again, showing her sadness. I may neither choose whom I would nor refuse whom I dislike. So is the will of a living daughter curbed by the will of a dead father. It is not hard. Is it not hard, Nerissa, that I cannot choose one nor refuse one? Okay, very good line. She's saying that. For me, the word choose is not made. Okay, for me, the word choose, it's not made. I'm so, perhaps I choose the person to whom I just want to marry. My desires cannot make me free, so that I can choose the man to whom I can marry. But even choose, I cannot choose nor I can refuse anybody. I have not desire on myself so that I can refuse anybody. I cannot choose anybody nor I can refuse anybody. Nerissa, uh, see the here is written, the will of a living daughter is somewhere restricted by the will of the dead daughter. Okay, my desire, the living daughter's desire, my desire, Portia's desire, princess desire, Heiress desire is somewhere restricted by the will of my dead father. Okay, now I am living, but now my desire is somewhere dead. But my father is already dead, but his desire is somewhere alive and working on my life. So here the word choose is not made for me. So you don't give me teaching. Okay, saying is easy, but doing the things is somewhere very tough. So I cannot choose nor refuse anybody. Clear? Okay, then Nerissa says what? Nerissa says, your father was ever virtuous, and holy men at their death have good inspiration. Therefore, the lottery that he hath devised in these three caskets of gold, silver, and lead, whereof who chooses this meaning chooses you, will no doubt never will be chosen by any rightly, but one who rightly love you. But what warmth is there in your love, your affection towards? Okay, affection towards any one of these princely suitors that are already here, already come here. So she's saying that don't say like that, because your father was a virtuous man, okay, a pious man. He's a holy man, and Portia, when a holy man died, they give us a good inspiration. Means they give us a divine virtues. They give us what? They give us divine advice, divine guidance for our future, so that we can have a right, a right thing in our future. So their inspiration plays a crucial part in our life. So don't say like that. Again, she's added, the lottery, the lottery means the three casket box. So that will, according to your father, is somewhere play a crucial role in your life, because according to that will, the person who would truly love you will only choose the right casket. So don't worry for that, just wait for the right time. The person who will truly love you will choose the right one. Clear? So again she's saying that, but what warmth is there in your affection towards any of these princely suitors that are already come? Now she's saying that, okay, just leave these things. Now tell me what you're thinking about the suitors, those who have already come here to try their luck. Portia says, I pray thee your name. I pray thee you name them. As you thou namest them, I will describe them. And according to my description, level my affection. She's telling them, okay, what I'm thinking, what my affection for them. You can tell one by one their names. I will tell my description. Clear? Nerissa. First, there is the Neapolitan prince. See that now they both are going to talk, as I told you. Now, what conversation they have? They are going to have conversation regarding the princes who have come and try to their luck. Who have come and then try to win Portia. So now the very first prince is of Napoleon prince is talking about. So she told her that, that's a cold indeed. For he doth nothing but talks of his horse. He makes it a great appropriation for his own good parts, that he can shew himself. Okay, for Napoleon Prince, Portia is saying that, okay, he does nothing but he's only talking. Colt means young horse. Okay, colt means young. So this man always talking about his young horse, about his young. He does nothing but his young horse. He has a showing of nature. He has a good appropriation, that he has made one good parts. Okay, good parts what? That shoe. Okay, he can say himself a shoemaker. Shoemaker. What a horse have in its leg. It is based like that, not like that. See that it is based like that. Okay, so people have this shoe for horse. So they have this shoe for their horse. So it is very difficult task to to place this shoemaker in the horse, in the leg of the horse. So that is why he had done this. So that is why he just making a show off that he has done that big much work. So he has nothing, but always he's talking about his horse. He means all the word of his is somewhere in his horse. So there is a, then there's the country palatine. See the second one. This man is the second one prince. Just talking about the second one. What about the second one, country palatine? He doth nothing but to frown. Okay, but to frown. See that, you know that frowning I explained you already. The people who is having seriousness on their faces. So what about that person? So he's saying that he doth nothing but to frown. As who should say, you anyone, and you will not have me choose. He hears merry tales and smile not. I fear I will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old and being so full of unmanly sadness in his youth. I had rather be married of this married to be rather be married to a dead's head with a bone in his mouth than easier to either of these. So God defend me from these two. So Portia is saying that, you know, this man always shows a seriousness in his face. So if anybody is going to say that for what you have come, okay, if anybody will say that, and you will not have to choose, okay, for this reason he has come here. If anybody say that you have to not choose any of the casket, so if your reason is lost on the basis of this condition, he is not going to make any sign of his face. He is not going to change his sign of his face in any circumstances, any conditions. Even if anybody hears a merry tale, if anybody says some jokes or some fun to him, he smiles not. He is not ready to smile. He is not going to change his facial expressions. I fear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old. Now in this young condition, he is as serious as I am talking to. So what would be the condition of when he will become a old one? So his condition will be like weeping philosopher, okay, who's always making face like that and try to teach others. Not there is no happiness in his life, okay. So I had rather, so for me this would be better that I should marry a skull, okay. See that death's head means the skull, rather than marry to such types of person. So God may defend from these two. She's not going to ready to marry these two princes. Now Nerissa, how you say by the French Lord Monseigneur Le Bon. Okay, so talking about Monseigneur Le Bon, the third one. She says, God made him and therefore let him pass for a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but why he hath a horse better than the Napoleons, and a better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is every man in no man. If a throstle sings, he falls straight and creeping. He will fence with his own shadow. And if I would marry him, I should marry him. I should marry 20 husbands. If he would despite me, I would forgive him. If he loved me, the madness I shall never requite him. So she is saying that if God had made him, therefore let him pass for a man. Okay, for him I can say that if God has made him as a man, we can say that yes, he is a man. Let him pass him as a man. Okay, if reality, I just want to say that I know that to be a mocker, okay, we should not mock anybody. So in reality, I am somewhere sorry that it is a sin to mock somebody. But what I do, Nerissa, I have to say what I felt about him. So he said that but he had a horse better than the Napoleon. He had a good horse, means a better horse than the Napoleons had, and he had a better habit of frowning. Okay, he is somewhere more serious than the second one, the Count Palatine. So he is a man. He is every man in no man. Okay, he has no personality of his own. He is copying personality of others. So he has no man, and he is every man in no man. If a throstle sing, he falls straight and creeping, and he will fence with his own shadow. Saying that he is man like if a bird sing, then after the listening the song of the bird, he started dancing. He starts dancing, and also he is a man who play a role. It means he fence. He just running swords with his own shadow. So if I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. So the man who is going to play 20 roles, 20 characters roles, so if I'm going to marry him, it means I will marry 20 husbands, because this man is somewhere copying to at least 20 characters. Okay, so if he would despite me, if he would hate me, I would forget him. If the man would hate me, I would forget him. For if he love me passionately, I cannot reback his love like he just does with me. So I will not ready to marry with that types of person who plays 20 roles, and thereafter uh, I cannot happy with him. There is a what would you say then? Falconbridge, the young Baron of England. See, the fourth one is Falconbridge. Okay. Okay, Falconbridge is the fourth one. Okay. It's talking about Falconbridge. Portia, I say nothing for him, nothing to him, for he understand me not, nor I him. He hath neither Latin, French, nor Italian, and you will come into the court and swear that I have a poor penny worth in English. So for him, she's saying that I cannot say anything for him. Why? Because that person does not understand me, nor I understand him. Because the language, he hath neither Latin, French, and Italian was not known by him. And what about my condition? I am very poor in English. So the combination of both of us means understanding, and the conversation of both of us somewhere not like that, so that we can get each other. Okay. Okay. Then she says he has a just wait. Okay, so she's saying that he has a proper man's picture. Somewhere he has proper, but alas, who can converse with a dumb show? As you not getting to anybody, so that looks a dumb show. Okay, the people who means whatever he is speaking, I will not get whatever I will speak, he will not get. So our conversation look a dumb show. Okay, so how oddly now she's somewhere going to say something good about this man. See that how strangely he suited, means he dressed himself. I think he brought his doublet, means his jacket from Italy. Then his round horse round, means the breeches he is having in his hand, that is from France. And his bonnet is hat. So he has brought his hat from Germany, and his behavior everywhere. And when we see himself, when we talk on this man, so his behavior shows that he is an experienced person. He has visited a number of places, so that it looks in his personality. Clear? So what would be the condition if I will marry to this man, if we will not getting each other? Clear? Now he is also rejected by Portia. Now the next one is, okay, see the fifth one. This man is of fifth one. Scottish Lord, his neighbor. Scottish Lord, his neighbor. Why she's saying that there is a England, place like England, and then after France. So in between there's a country of Scotland. Okay, Scotland. So England, the men of England is Englishmen. France, the men of France, so the people of France will be French people, and Scottish will be Scotland people. So that is why he is talking about his neighbor. So he is the neighbor of these two countries. So what about him? So she's saying that he had a neighborly charity in him, for he borrowed a box of the ear of the England, and swore he would pay him again when he was able. I think the Frenchman become his surety and seal under the another. It's talking about, this man is somewhere a coward types of man. Okay, a coward man who cannot save himself. He has to take help from a Frenchman, from a France people, for his security. Okay, for his security, he just wanted to help for a French people, so that he can secure from an Englishman. Okay, if an Englishman give a slap to him, he say that he is covered, so that he in reply he said that I will take my revenge when I will be able to take. Okay, when I will take the help of any other French people. So that is why he is so much a coward, or he just making his security under the sign of a Frenchman. So he is not able to secure himself. So what how he will save me? Nerissa, the sixth one. Okay, how like you the young German Duke of Saxony's Nefo. So the sixth one. Okay, what about sixth one? She says, see, Portia saying, very wily in morning when he is sober, the most wily in afternoon. He is when he is drunk, when he is the best, he is a little worse than a man, and when he is worse, he is little better than a beast. So this wily is what? Wily is means highly aggressive. Okay, highly aggressive. Aggressive and behave badly. Behave badly. So she's talking about the German Duke, that he is a man who is having means who is a short-tempered man. Always the puzzled. Always means he has a bad mood every time in him. She said in when it morning he behaves badly. Okay, when he's sober and the most vile in afternoon. When in afternoon he is somewhere worse than that, worse than morning. And when he drink, when he drink, he is the best, means he is the worst when he drink. So what we can say, she's talking about this man is type of a drunkard and alcoholic man. So she giving a remark that this man is an alcoholic man. So he behaves like that, is a short tempered man. In morning he behaves bad. When in afternoon it becomes worse, means his behavior becomes worse. And what about when he drink, at the time when he drink, so that is the worst time, his behavior becomes worst on that time when he drinks. Okay, so when he is best, okay, according to his behavior, when he is best, so he is somewhere little than a man. Little than a man means his behavior is somewhere very worst, behaves very worst. Okay, and when he is worst, he is little better than a beast. He is somewhere better than a beast when he goes up. Clear? So again she is saying, and the worst fall that ever fell. If I will start a worst starting, okay, then I have to fall it. My future also will be, my end also will be a wrong end. So I will not going to marry that types of people. I hope I shall make a shift to go without him. Okay, I will not manage. I cannot manage with this type of people. So Nerissa says, if he should offer to choose the choose of right casket, you should refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept it. She's saying that if he's going to choose the right casket, so what are you thinking, that you're going to refuse them? You will go against your father's will. Portia says, therefore for fear of the worst, I pay thee set a deep glass of Rhenish wine, okay, on the contrary casket. For if the devil be within, that the temptation without, I know he will choose it. I would do anything, Nerissa, or I'll be married to a sponge. Sponge is a drinker. Okay. Oh, no, drunkard or drinker, a person who is a type of alcoholic person. So she's saying that, okay, now for that I just want to, I pray you that you keep a Rhenish wine bottle in one of the caskets, so that if he will see the casket having Rhenish wine, so for that temptation, he directly choose the casket which is having the Rhenish wine. So that is why just try to keep that wine in the place of any casket. So in any one of the casket. So I will do anything so that I cannot marry with him. Then Nerissa, you need not fear, lady. The having of these lords, the having any of these lords, they have acquainted me with their determination, which is indeed to return to their homes and trouble you with no more suit, unless you may won by some other sort than your father in imposition, depending on the casket. She's saying that you don't have to worry, because I have acquainted, means I have informed, they informed me that they have changed their determination, they have changed their ways, they have changed their decision, and they're now going back from the way to their home. So you don't say they will not try to come here. because they are changing their decision. So you have to wait for any other suitor that would come, and then after he will choose the right casket. So you don't worry for that. Portia says then, very good line is told by Portia here. If I live to be as Sibylla, you know Sibylla is an old a character, old character. Okay, you can see the we have, okay, see the character which does prophecy, the old character which does prophecy. So she's saying that I would be old Sibylla, and how much long I have to live, I will live like Sibylla. You know Sibylla, in your book you can see the reference, that is a prophetess in Roman mythology. Okay, so she is very pure and gives, she means she's not going to marry anybody, she is pure. And I will die as chaste as Dinah. Two references are given by Shakespeare, as Sibylla who does prophecy, and then after I will die as chaste. You know, Dinah is what goddess, goddess of virginity and chastity. She knows as a goddess of virginity and chastity. So I will die like Dinah, and if I will live, I have to live long. I will live long. I become old as Sibylla, and my chastity will be the first priority of mine. So I will be virgin and chastity. I am not going to break any rules that is against of my father. I can wait. Means she just wanted to give us that I can wait for the rightly king who will choose the right casket according to my father's will. But against my father's, I am not going to choose any other husband to whom I love or I like. Clear? Okay, I'm glad to this parcel of wooers. Wooers mean that suitors are so reasonable, for there is not any among of them. But I dote on these every absence. I pray God grant them their fair departure. Okay, so I'm so happy that they are not coming here, but I pray for them that what the rest of journey they have. So she is wishing for their good journey. Clear? Okay. Then Nerissa told, do you not remember, lady? In your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar, and a soldier that come hither in the company of the Vascus and Monteferret. She told, now she makes him reminded of Bassanio. Then she said, yes, it was Bassanio, as I think he was so called. Okay, true, madam. She just reminds about Bassanio. She told, true, madam, he of all the men that ever my foolish eyes looked upon, okay, was the best deserving fair lady. Okay, for that types of people I always, that types of king, that types of princess, my eyes always looking for, because he only deserves you, a princess like you. Portia, I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise. Okay, he is only the person who is really able to praise by somebody. On that conversation, that was break when a servant came. They asked him. She asked, "How now? What's the news?" Asking about the news. He told, the four strangers seek for you, madam, to take their leave, and there is a foreigners come from the fifth, the Prince of Morocco, who brings word to the prince his master will be here to ride. It's talking about that all the four princes are now ready to leave you, so that they just wanted to meet you as they're going to leave this place. But one more messenger came, who came from Prince of Morocco. He's saying that his master sent him to giving the message that his master, his prince, will come till to ride here. Okay. Portia says, it could bid the fifth welcome so good as heard. I can bid the other four farewell. I should be glad of his approach. If he would be the condition of a saint and the complexion of a devil, I had rather he should shrive me than wife me. See the word shrive me and then wife me. I will explain. So she's saying that how much glad I am going to give farewell to all these four. Means perhaps how much glad I were as glad as I am going to give farewell to these four, so that in the same gladness, in the same happiness, I could accept and welcome the fifth one who is near to come here. So I will see that if his condition, I would accept him if he have the condition of a saint. Okay, suppose that if he is a man and he's just behaving like a saint, his character is like a saint. Okay, he's as good as the saint. and the complexion of devil. See that is she's talking about the person who is black in complexion, means whose complexion is black, who's black in color. So I cannot marry with that as a person who is a black in color. So here Portia wanted to marry a person who is fair in complexion. So she's saying that if a person is black and he has a quality of a saint, I would go there, and then after she should strive. You know, strive is what? See the strive what is written in your book, so that he can hears my sin and he grant me for my forgiveness like a saint, like a holy man. He can hear me, but I cannot to think that he can wife me, means I can marry to this to that person. So I don't want that he the man the prince of Morocco just marry with me, because I don't like a person who is black in color. Then after she told to Nerissa to come go before, means to go there, and she said that whilst we shut the gate upon the wooers, another knocks at the door, and they are going to give farewell to these four suitors. So that is why, and when the fifth one is coming, okay, so that is why she's saying that you know, Portia, as soon as you're going to close the gate for the next for the suitors, the next is ready to come knock the door. Okay, so now all the things here all have left the place, and now scene 2 is over here. I hope, student, the scene 2 is completely clear to everybody. If you have any doubt, you can please watch this video again and again. And the workbook, okay, in workbook there are some questions based on this scene 1. Try to solve all workbooks by you. Again and again I am saying to you, all the answers that have to solve by you in your exam, that is not like class 8th. So try to solve all the questions. If you have any doubt, we will solve and we will discuss the doubts in live class or in video class like we have. So try to do all the things by your own. Discussion is very important. We will discuss. So please do it. So for that time, student, in the next class, I will try to give the next one more act is there. One more scene is there. Act 1, scene 3. So in the next class, I will try to give you complete scene. It is somewhere very longer. So maybe it will come in 2 parts. So try to read it, and I hope that this class is somewhere understood by all the students. Thank you so much and have a nice day.